Hello everyone, I'm FMZ and this is episode 33 of An Englishman Abroad, a Journeyman Story, the only place to see Leicester City's goals, goals and more goals. And believe me, there are lots to look at today. So let's get to it. Run the intro. And we start with a 1-0 win over Leeds United. Dennis Mann with the goal. Let's take a look at his goal. Scored after 72 minutes. Good work from Fernandez. Played it through to Alex Iwobi, who rolled it into Dennis Mann, who did the rest. Bang! Into the back of the net to give us a 1-0 win over Leeds. We followed that up with our first FA Cup win at the first attempt this year when we beat Crystal Palace by 3-0. Let's take a look at the goals from it. Max Gomez opened the scoring from the penalty spot after 20 minutes. And then Harvey Barnes took over. Played the ball out onto the right-hand side to Wan-Bissaka, playing against his former club, who sent it back to Harvey Barnes with interest, who headed into the net nicely. And then he scored his second goal. Good work from Taylor down the left-hand side. Wasn't really cleared by Palace. Gomez plays it across. Barnes slams it into the net to give us a 3-0 win. And we'll see who we played in the quarter-final later in the episode. We then had a bit of a damp squib with a 0-0 draw with Bournemouth, currently playing at the Majeski Stadium while the Vitality Stadium is being redeveloped. Very even game though. 7 shots on target to our 5, 50-50 in the possession stats. The only thing we did win were the fouls and the yellow cards. We then finally achieved a point against one of the big boys. Thank goodness for that. Did come after Lopez had scored an own goal, but Alex Iwobi equalised. So let's take a look at both the goals. And it was a bit of a calamity from Paul Lopez. Neves with the corner in, Giroud with the header down. I'm not sure if he's unsighted by the 15, but Lopez should do better. Alex Iwobi with the equaliser. Good cross from Jamie Vardy. Good header back across from Alex Iwobi to give Leicester a point. We couldn't, however, follow that up with anything from the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal beat us by 3-2. Let's take a look at the goals from it. We did open the scoring. Diop with a header from a free kick. Nice little swooping header as well. Arsenal pegged us back pretty quickly though. Socrates with the ball into Guendouzi, onto Ozil, who played it into the box. Aubameyang at the far post. The defender should do better, really. Arsenal went 2-1 up midway through the first half. Again, Socrates wasn't closed down. Played it towards that back post again. Wan-Bissaka didn't cover himself in glory at all today. We did make it 2-2, however. Iwobi picking the ball up against his old club, playing it across to a former Arsenal player, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, with a lovely finish for 2-2. But we were beaten right at the death by the Arsenal. Lacazette into Reece Nelson on the right-hand side. Played the ball into the box for Mesut Ozil, who finished pretty well to give Arsenal the 3-2 win. We did get back to winning ways against Middlesbrough. We're beaten by 2-0. A late show from Vardy and Diop. Let's take a look at the goals from it. Jamie Vardy picking up on a bit of slack defending coming up. Oh dear, poor touch. Slammed into the net by Vardy, punished quite rightly so. And Diop wrapping up the 3 points. Good work from Gomez down the left. Played it into the middle and he just let fly like he was doing at Real Betis last season to give Leicester a 2-0 win. And lastly for today, it was an FA Cup classic at the Molineux. Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, Leicester City 5 after extra time, it has to be said. Let's take a look at the goals from it. Musa Silla with the opening goal for us. Good work from Barak into Barnes, who's doing well in the FA Cup this year. Nice little slide rule pass to Silla for 1-0. Bit of a mistake at the back. Edouard playing the ball across to Leko, who scored. But we went back in front. First goal for Szymanski coming up. Through to Jamie Vardy, gambles at the back post, and at that point I thought we were through. to the semi-finals, only for Wolves to peg us back a second time. Poor defending again. Edouard with the ball through. Lico again on the mark for 2-2, but we railroaded them in extra time. Jamie Vardy with a penalty first up, and whilst they were pushing forward, we were hitting them on the counter quite a lot at this point. Bogle with a ball across for Harvey Barnes to eventually tap in for 4-2, and then we made it 5 with about 3 minutes to go. Maddison into Bogle. Bogle back across to Harvey Barnes, who completed the scoring to give us a 5-2 win over Wolves. And we'll see who we're playing in the FA Cup semi-final next. So first up, we should mention that FA Cup semi-final appearance is against Manchester United at Wembley. Will be a very difficult game, but we've done well to get this far, so you never know what might happen. In the league, we've had a bit of a drop in the table. We are down to 8th, but fear not, fans. We are only 4 points off of Tottenham in 6th place. So Europe is still very much achievable on both fronts. If we can win the FA Cup, obviously that guarantees us a place in Europe next season. But we're still going to keep pushing hard for the league with 8 games to go. Down at the bottom, where it's getting very tasty down at the bottom, Newcastle have dropped to the foot of the table. Leeds have climbed off the bottom for the first time this season. Blackburn are in the bottom 3 as well. West Ham, look at them. 7 games to go. They are hovering dangerously above the dotted line. And you would say anybody up to Watford on 32 are still in grave danger of being relegated to the Championship. So we get to make a trip to Wembley in the FA Cup semi-final against Manchester United. We'll see that next time in the roundup to see if we're going back for the final itself. In the league, we're still not in the European places, but we are pushing. We are pushing very, very hard. To be 4 points behind Tottenham at this stage of the season, it was more than I probably could have hoped for. We are in prime position. We've got to get in front of Everton first. Hopefully they have a little bit of a wobble towards the end of the season. If they don't, then it could be we really need to win the FA Cup. But we'll see how that goes next time. If you've enjoyed today's video, please leave a like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel and would like to do so, please click the subscribe button down in the corner. That was episode 33 of An Englishman Abroad, a Journeyman Story. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.